Have you noticed something quietly shifting in modern men? More fatigue that feels heavier than it should. Less consistent energy from morning to evening. Brain fog that turns clear thinking into slog. Burnout that sneaks up and never quite leaves. Sleep that fragments into restless hours instead of restorative nights. More metabolic troubles, creeping weight, stubborn waistlines. A growing sense of exhaustion even when information and tools for health are more available than ever. When these symptoms surface, conversations tend to zoom in on one word: testosterone. Suddenly, everyone has something to say. Social media pundits promise quick fixes. Fitness influencers sell the idea that a supplement stack will change everything. Biohackers talk protocols and dosing. Supplement companies push pills and powders. Hormone clinics advertise injections and instant optimization. The message is simple and seductive. Boost your testosterone, optimize your masculinity, become alpha. But what if that narrative is too simple? What if testosterone is rarely the full story? What if the real problem is not the hormone itself, but the systems that produce it, chief among them sleep and recovery? What if modern men are chasing hormonal tweaks while ignoring the biological foundations that allow hormones to be healthy in the first place? Today we're digging into one of the most misunderstood topics in men's health: testosterone, sleep, recovery, and everything most men get wrong about them. Let's start with a basic question. What is testosterone? Most people think of it as the male sex hormone, and that's true. But it's only the start. Testosterone is a powerful signaling molecule that touches nearly every corner of the body. It helps build and maintain muscle and bone. It fuels energy, drive, and motivation. It shapes mood and cognitive sharpness. It supports recovery after stress or training. It helps regulate metabolism and sexual function. In short, it's a key part of the body's communication system. Here's where a lot of people stumble. They treat testosterone like the cause of health. In reality, testosterone is often a report card, a reflection of how well the body's systems are functioning. A report card doesn't produce the learning, it reflects it. Likewise, testosterone often signals what's happening in sleep, nutrition, stress balance, body composition, inflammation, and physical activity. It's frequently the messenger, not the root cause. That brings us to sleep, possibly the single most powerful, underappreciated lever for supporting hormonal health. And yet sleep is one of the first things men sacrifice. They'll spend thousands on supplements, performance gadgets, or clinic visits, but balk at prioritizing consistent restorative sleep. Much of the body's hormonal regulation and repair happens at night, especially during deep sleep. Picture trying to build a house but having half the materials stolen every night. That's what chronic sleep loss does to the body's ability to recover and rebuild. Growth and repair pathways weaken. Recovery slows, inflammation creeps up, stress response systems shift into a more activated state. Over time, these changes can make the environment less favorable for healthy testosterone production. Scientists have observed meaningful links between sleep quality and testosterone. Men who consistently sleep poorly tend to show lower testosterone than those who prioritize solid sleep. That doesn't mean every tired man has low testosterone, nor that sleep is the only factor, but the connection is real, consistent, and often underestimated. Now let's talk about a cultural trend. Sleep restriction as a badge of honor. Many men brag, "I only sleep 5 hours. I'll sleep when I'm dead. I function fine." Yet biology doesn't care about bravado. The body keeps a running ledger of late nights, interrupted sleep cycles, and missed opportunity for restoration. The hits accumulate and eventually the bill comes due: reduced performance, diminished resilience, blunted recovery, and a general decline in vitality. Hormones work on rhythms, not in isolation. The body is an orchestra. Cortisol has its tempo, melatonin its cue, growth hormone its solo, and testosterone its part in the symphony. When you disrupt one instrument by staying up late, shifting schedules, or exposing yourself to constant stressors, the whole performance falters and the music turns into noise. Cortisol deserves special attention because its relationship with testosterone is so instructive. Cortisol is the body's stress hormone, necessary and life-sustaining in measured doses. It helps you wake up, focus, and respond to immediate challenges. The problem is chronic elevation. When stress becomes the default state, the body reallocates resources toward survival. Recovery, long-term repair, and optimization are de-emphasized. Live in that state long enough, and the hormonal environment that supports testosterone and other regenerative processes becomes compromised. Look around at the modern life many men lead. Constant emails and notifications, relentless deadlines, financial pressures, juggling family responsibilities, screen exposure that stretches late into the night, sedentary work, and often too little true downtime. The nervous system rarely gets a real rest. Over time, fatigue becomes the new normal rather than a signal to change course, which leads to recovery. One of the most neglected ideas in men's health. Men are good with the concept of training hard. Far fewer understand that adaptation happens after the work is done. The workout itself is only the stimulus. Growth, strength gains, hormonal rebalancing, and increased resilience happen in the recovery window afterwards. Imagine two men who finish the same training session. One prioritizes 8 hours of solid sleep, proper nutrition, and mental decompression that night. The other sleeps 5 hours, eats poorly, and remains stressed. The first man reaps the benefits, muscle is repaired, hormonal patterns normalize, and the nervous system resets. The second man may still go through the motions, but the gains are blunted or delayed because the body never had the chance to adapt. Body composition also plays a major role. Visceral fat, the deep abdominal fat that surrounds organs, is metabolically active and alters inflammation, insulin sensitivity, and hormonal signaling. The relationship between body composition and testosterone is complex and bidirectional. Poor metabolic health can influence hormones, and hormonal shifts can influence body composition. You can't meaningfully address one without considering the other. Exercise is one of the most potent tools men have. Strength training improves muscle mass, metabolic health, insulin sensitivity, function, and confidence. But more isn't always better. Too little activity is a problem, and so is too much activity without adequate recovery. The body needs challenge, yes, but it also needs time to rebuild stronger. This is where wearable technology can be incredibly useful. Recovery is often hard to feel accurately. You may feel ready, but your physiology might tell a different story. Metrics like heart rate variability, HRV, resting heart rate, sleep quality, and recovery or readiness scores provide objective windows into how your body is responding. Wearables are not perfect, but they reveal patterns over time, and patterns tell stories that single data points miss. One of the clearest lessons from wearables is how immediately sensitive the body is to sleep. A single night of poor sleep can lower HRV, raise resting heart rate, and reduce readiness scores. The physiology notices even when the mind tries to override the signal. It's crucial to remember not every symptom points to low testosterone. Fatigue is not automatically a hormonal problem. Brain fog, weight gain, low motivation, none of these are exclusively linked to testosterone. Mental health, chronic disease, nutrition, sleep, stress, and lifestyle all influence these symptoms. Simplistic fixes rarely work because human biology is nuanced and interconnected. At Oxyzen, this is our approach to health intelligence. Don't chase a single number. Don't obsess over one hormone. Look at systems and how they interact, how sleep affects recovery, how recovery affects performance, how stress alters hormones, and how metabolism shapes resilience. Health is a network. Improving one node often improves the whole system. If there's one takeaway from today's episode, let it be this. Most men are hunting for ways to optimize testosterone when they should be optimizing recovery. Healthy hormones are often the consequence of healthy systems. The most powerful intervention for testosterone may not be a pill or an injection. It may be a good night's sleep followed by another and another. Consistency compounds. The future of men's health isn't about becoming superhuman. It's about becoming biologically aligned, sleeping better, recovering better, managing stress more effectively, moving with purpose, and living with intention. When the system improves, the hormones often follow. I'm Dr. Yende. Thank you for joining me on Oxyzen Health Intelligence. Before you ask how to boost testosterone, ask how well you're sleeping. You might find that the answer tells you far more than you expected. I'll see you in the next episode.